Hey everyone, today I wanted to talk about redressing the ranks. Redressing the ranks usually comes up when you have a unit that's drilled and it will drill out from a marching column formation into a very wide formation. So with cavalry to charge, it means that you're getting a large number of attacks with lancers from your front rank. It can also be used to drill out into a long line of shooting units, a unit with missile weapons as well. And given that it wasn't part of older editions very much, using the tactics with it is still somewhat or in its infancy in the community. So in this sense, there might be a little bit of an interpretation with Redress the Ranks that needs to be solidified. So the example I'm using in this video could be improved. I'll talk about that as I go through the images, but I believe that the underlying principle is sound. What you have down the bottom is the rules as written, where you can see that I suppose the intention or the suggestion in this case is that models go to the sides of the center of the unit. In many places, you're seeing that all five models go to one side of that center or the other side, which can create a big advantage. And whether or not that is something you need to be able to do, where the basic principle is that models can't move more than their movement characteristic in a phase or not. There are a lot of exceptions. I'm not trying to argue here that Games Workshop has greatly written rules, but I believe that we probably need some clarity around here as I work through the examples. So what I wanted to demonstrate is that in this game, we were playing a scenario called Breakthrough, where if you could get a unit with unit strength 10 off the other side of the board, your opponent's side of the board, you would gain an extra 100 points 100 kill points towards your overall score for the game. So I had 2 units of 5 Reavers and deployed them in marching column to this effect. I had to deploy first, so I didn't know which way my opponent was going to go and decided that I'd just put them on both extremes. As discussed, if I'm not able to redress the ranks, or if I have to do it from the center of the model, I would have made a little bit more space. I think I was being a bit overt here and put them at those extremes, but it wouldn't have made an enormous difference to be able to do it that way. Might have given my sisters a little bit less room here, but after deploying, I wish I'd had them on the right of this impassable piece of terrain anyway, even though it ended up for the best if you've watched my video on defensive challenges. Anyway, so the basic gist is that they're in marching column, and the aim is Illyrian Reavers can move at 9, so they'll be able to triple march in marching column 27 inches, which is crazy. It's like a vast majority of the board. My opponent has stacked both flanks cleverly so that I can't do that. And on the left side, I just gave up, ended up redressing backwards or reforming actually in the first turn behind these sisters and started moving this way. And that unit actually did sort of do some help out later on in this area of the board. However, on the right side, I went straight into the mode where I would need to break through this unit of scouts and be fast enough to beat these knights to the end of the board. So what I did was I took that unit and I redressed them into a unit of 5 wide on that turn. It meant that I had to wear a turn of shooting from the scouts, and this unit here doesn't have bows. I don't know if they're worth it, to tell you the truth, even though these guys would have been a pretty good target. I don't think they really add much, and you spend a lot of time marching with the Reavers, but they do have 6 attacks and 5 horse attacks because there's a champion in there and they're a standard musician, because I needed standards to claim points in other parts of the tournament. So the issue here is that I've started that conga line is taking up pretty much the entirety of my deployment. Moving up gave me to redress is only half, but gets you right up. It's seemingly 4 times 3, 12. It's about yeah, it seems more than 9 inches, and then I'm getting to move 4.5. So I'm interested. We've got a pretty good audience here who's able to tell us when we're getting things wrong, but I discussed this with my opponent. It felt like it was a bit too good to be true, but he thought that's how it worked as well. And I ended up charging those scouts the next turn, breaking them. Well, I beat all of them and was able to overrun, and then I was able to break through past these knights, the knights charge arc, and I didn't take any chances the turn after and skip them off the board. So I think that some of these rules we're getting into the weeds now with interpretations and tactics, and that can be a good thing. Warhammer the Old World's a complex game, and that's what makes it enjoyable when you can find tiny advantages that can work in your favor. There are a lot of dice rolls that you need to mitigate in some games if you're going to be someone who consistently does well in events. And I think in this case, you're seeing some of the rules like the video we did previously on stubborn and challenges, but maybe just challenging and having falling back in good order is good by itself. In this case, while Redress the Ranks is obviously what makes drilled powerful, and I didn't think there was much other place in the game to use it, having now played Reavers, who are an open order fast cavalry unit, I was shocked at how mobile they really were, and that maybe these different unit subtypes might have some small things that you can tweak and make work in your games. So let us know what you think. How are you playing Redress the Ranks in your region of the Warhammer world? And on top of that, if we got anything wrong today, I'm interested in knowing what you think, because at this stage, there are a lot of clarifications to the rules that I think everyone benefits from when we get right. So thanks again for watching. Let us know in the comments below. Thanks.